I direct seeded these cucumbers. We are zone 3, northern British Columbia. Amos, do you want a cucumber? Come here. So today I'm gonna give you a garden tour video. And Mac is filming, he's like, all the gardens? Yep. The berry garden? Yep. The kitchen garden? Yep. The greenhouse? Yep. The big garden? Yep. Friends, there's a lot of gardens, there's a lot going on, but I feel like we don't spend that much time gardening. Like, do we really, Mac?
Yes.
Your voice got real sweet.
We do a lot.
I feel like people think we spend more time than we do. Like, I don't think we spend an hour a day.
No.
No. If we're watering, then Marius and I are spending an hour a day watering. A few times a week we weed a bit. Everything's planted. We're gonna be harvesting soon. We're harvesting some things already. Anyhow, let's start up here in the kitchen garden. So the kitchen garden needs to be weed whacked. But everywhere needs some effort. But does weed whacking make food not grow? Like, does not weed whacking? No. So is what it is. Okay. The kitchen garden is right by our house. And it started because Marius planted too many things in the big garden a few years ago, and I was like, where do I plant my lettuce and flowers? And he was like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, well, you planted too many potatoes. I have no space. So the rototiller was hooked up to the tractor, and I tilled in our lawn and made it a garden. It has now become raised beds and fenced in, and it's such a lovely space. I love this garden. So let's get showing you around. So this first bed was all lettuce, and it's kind of transitioned into other things. I actually see there's a lovely cucumber to be picked. You scared of prickles? Yeah. The fact that I direct seeded and have cucumbers is super wild.
We have a lot of cucumbers.
Yes, delicious. We love eating cucumbers. Okay, I'll just leave these here. Okay, so this is purple sprouting broccoli, but it's not doing a lot yet. Kale.
Lamb's quarter.
More cucumbers that aren't producing yet. I better get speeding up this garden tour. We're going to be here a while. This is supposed to be cucumbers, and it's squash. It looks like spaghetti squash. So that seed packet was wrong. Dahlias, mint, herbs, cilantro, calendula, sunflowers. Over here we have green beans as well as some squashes. Not squashes, cabbage. The green beans. Ooh, I found some green beans hidden in here. Yes, these are our first green beans. These are Gold Rush. I don't like the yellow ones as much, but everybody else does, so.
I don't like yellow ones.
You don't like them?
I don't like green beans.
Okay, so there's some cabbages and broccolis there. These other two beds were strawberries that didn't really do too well, so other things got planted in there. There's broccoli, cabbages. I did a second succession, direct seeded. Yeah? Sure. I direct seeded in June, maybe? Mid-June? And it's doing really well. I'm definitely going to get crops from it. We have corn, which is hit and miss where we live. But I did it kind of to shade lettuce. I need to plant more lettuce in there. But it shades lettuce well, helps it slow the bolting. I'm really surprised that actually took as long as it did to bolt. I don't pull out all my bolted lettuce at once. I pull it out just an armload at a time and give it to the pigs. And because I don't need that garden space just yet, it's covering the soil, which is helping the moisture stay for the corn. It's choking out weeds, all that sort of stuff. So we might not actually get corn, but the pigs will enjoy eating the corn stalks if not. Let's go. Oh, here's garlic that needs to be pulled. And some more purple sprouting broccoli. Parsley.
What about all that?
I already talked over that.
Really?
Yeah, there's flowers, brassicas.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to the berry garden. So when you come around the back of our house, we have the berry garden. This was already existing here. Wow, you guys have a lot of raspberries to pick today.
Yeah, aim some trial.
You'll be picking, helping with that too. So, normally in spring, the berry garden would get like a deep mulching and weeding and all this help. But in spring, we were listing our house to sell. We ended up not selling and choosing to stay. But it's rough in here this year. We're planning to let the goats in to clean up after we're done raspberries. So along here, we have horseradish and rhubarb.
And Timothy.
And then there's raspberries there, and one of the raspberry trellises fell down.
He was on it, picking.
It shouldn't have done that.
It's rotten at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly, there's rotten. Amongst these thistles, there's actually a young asparagus patch. And then all in here, there is piles of raspberries. You're gonna have to help with picking raspberries today, Matt. So the raspberry plants are actually starting to die, which is interesting, because we have got lots of rain. And yeah, it's all just raspberries in here, except for behind Mac there, there's one haskap bush. It doesn't really produce much, but we leave it there because it's good for early pollinators.
And the birds.
And the birds.
Birds go to town on it.
They gotta eat too. Okay, let's go to the greenhouse. So we have a couple sour cherry trees, and they produced almost nothing this year because we had a really late frost, and all the blossoms died off. So maybe we got 6 sour cherries this year, which is kind of a bummer because sour cherry mead is one of our favorites. Oh well. In here is zucchini on this side and pumpkins on this side. Pumpkins are only just starting to form, so I'm not really sure what they're gonna do.
Zucchini.
Is there any zucchinis needing to be picked?
No, there's one right here. It's kind of a jungle.
Yeah, so the thing about zucchinis is the more you pick them, the more they grow. So don't be afraid to pick the small ones. Don't think, oh, you have to wait till they grow big to get the most out of your harvest. Pick them at this nice, delicious size. Don't wait till they're big and woody. And your plants will just keep producing. Our greenhouse is not a very good greenhouse.
Are you kidding?
No, like it doesn't really hold heat very well or anything.
Have you seen our cucumber plants?
It's a jungle.
They're touching the roof.
Yeah, but you know what? The cucumbers are hardly actually growing.
You see that one right there? I see one.
I see. Are they finally starting to grow? They were stuck at like an inch long forever. So the huge plants in here are tobacco, turn experiment. And then we have cucumbers. We have lots of cucumbers. Oh, a mouse ate that cucumber.
Table cukes.
I'm just breaking up that part.
I'll eat it.
No, not the mouse part.
No, that part. So we had some problems with the video while editing, so we had to come in and redo some parts. So this variety of cucumber, they're called mini me's, and they're a really good cucumber. They're not very big at all. They're not very big, but they're really tasty, and there's quite a few of them. They're a smaller cucumber, but they're really tasty. And there's lots of them. And then we have our tomatoes. They don't have tomatoes down here as well. Nothing on them. On our tomato plants over here, we have a lot of green tomatoes, but I don't see any red ones. And here is our pickling cucumber plant, which all of them are stuck at a cucumber about that big, or smaller. We have yet to really have our many. There's some that are a bit bigger. We've had like 2 that we picked because they have been growing so bad. There's one right there that's a decent size, but they go all the way to the roof, which is pretty cool. And then this is I don't know what variety of cucumber it is, but it's a good one. Dang! Another mouse bit one. I'm gonna just hit some traps in here. But yeah, this one's done pretty good as well. And then this year we did an experiment growing lamb's quarter. Just kidding. We tried growing ginger this year, and they did really good. Some of them are like pretty tall. But when we transplanted them, they kind of got stunted a bit. So they didn't really want to grow too much. But they're doing pretty good now. ish. They're slowly starting to come back. They really didn't like being transplanted. I also just noticed that right here there's some big cucumber. That one's pretty good.
So my in-laws have a bunch of fallen apples from the tree they brought. So we're gonna give a bucket to each of the pigs. Oh, they already had them.
Yeah, I know. Freya dumped them.
She didn't empty the bucket, so I didn't. All sorts of cabbages along this row. Green beans, 2 rows of green beans. They're not quite ready down here yet. The raised beds are warmer, so they're always ready sooner. This variety, this is called a parsley pea, I think it's called. I don't know. No, the whole thing is not edible. This is, the girls had some seeds and they planted them here. But there's
Itty bitty green beans.
There's itty bitty green beans. Okay, so then some red cabbages that are just starting to head up. Lots more green cabbages. Soon we'll be making kraut. Some wilted lettuce in there, of course. Broccoli. I've already picked about 45 pounds of broccoli. And since we have so much more broccoli coming on, I shared most of that. I traded broccoli for carrots with a friend too.
Then we have endless seas of potatoes.
And then there's lots of potatoes.
And lamb's quarter.
Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes.
Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. More potatoes, even more potatoes. Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes.
What feeds you through the winter?
Potatoes.
Potatoes. Okay, so hey, you guys you can weed the beets too when you weed the carrots and onions.
Yeah,
That's like
we were working on it.
Okay. So here we have beets and onions, carrots and onions, carrots and onions. Oh boy, I forgot there was broccoli down here. Look at the size of this head of broccoli.
Well, I'd started this road. I only got halfway down when we got half an hour. We did there, there, and I started there. That is a big head of broccoli. Oh wow.
Needs to be picked too. So you can tell when I decide broccoli needs to be picked is when it's not just green and you're starting to see some lighter green. That tells me it's gonna, like if you look at this one closely, it's tighter and green. This one is just starting to loosen. It's borderline because if you leave it too long, it will go to seed. Not that that isn't still edible, but I can see it lighter green. I can see it's getting to be looser. So it needs to be picked. And then, like, look at the side shoots on this broccoli plant. We grew all this from seed. Don't ask me what variety it is. Like, the side shoots on these are little heads themselves. Wild. So I'll leave this plant in and it will start growing more side shoots and more side shoots. I don't think this even fits in this bucket. There's some size reference for you. As big as a bucket. Okay, so we have lots of cabbages doing well down here. None of my cabbages have been, I only had one cabbage split. So I picked a couple cabbages, but otherwise left them. I really only pick cabbages in summer if they split. Can you see me in that?
Yeah.
If they split, or if like all our lettuce bolts and we want to have a salad, I'll pick cabbages to make a cabbage salad.
Coleslaw.
So our onions, I'm hoping they start getting bigger soon.
Oh, these ones are pitiful. Go down to the middle of the road.
In the middle they get bigger?
Yeah, these ones are tiny little.
Oh, there's a lot of carrots that need to be thinned.
Yeah, down here they're way bigger.
Okay, that's good, that's good.
Lots of carrots as well.
Yeah, carrots really need to be thinned. They're nice looking carrots. So where we live, we have carrot rust fly. And the carrots, we've always covered them. But my grandma said what she always did for carrot rust fly was interplanting them with onions. So there's actually a row of carrots, a row of onions, and then a row of carrots. So the onions are supposed to keep away the rust fly. And
Can you pick
fingers
me a
crossed
carrot?
that it works.
Can you pick me a carrot?
Oh, that's a good carrot.
I know.
Yeah, we got some good carrots in here.
I know. I told you. When we were wheat.
What just beet went to seed?
Don't pull it. We can keep the seed.
Oh, there's some decent beets in here. Actually, this is a candy cane beet. Do you have a knife on you? This one was bit by a mouse, which we don't normally have many mice bites. So that is a candy cane beet, and my girls are going to go wild for that. Only grow sugar snap peas. We blanch 1 minute, and then cold water, ice bath, and freeze. Like you do take the string off. We find this so much more time effective than like the little shelling peas. Shelling peas are a lot of work. A lot just gets fed to the chickens. Sugar snap peas, they're just more time effective.
They're good.
And they're delicious. Just looking how these beets are doing. They're not.
This one's going to seed as well.
Yeah, interesting. Guys, you'll have to tell me why I have beets.
And that one. And that one.
Why are
And
my
that
beets
one.
going to seed?
It's kind of a good thing.
Why?
Because then we don't have to buy seed.
Well, we'll have to look at how you collected the seed, though.
This is where we have been digging potatoes because we want fresh potatoes.
See, these beets are small, though. So, are they crowded, or are they...
Very crowded? Yeah.
Not all of them are crowded. I realized I could eat these, but...
The pigs can eat them too.
Yeah. Okay, what was the other thing I was going to say? I think that might be it. Thanks for walking around the garden with me.